Okay, let's see if this worked. Hey, okay, I think we're back. Sorry, I don't know what happened, to be honest. TBH. Not 100% sure. Not great. Okay. And we're back at it. Okay, so I think... Oh, hello. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Also, can I give a shout out real quick to Lamario? Because Lamario ran for state senate during a special. And it was like, the special election was around the holidays, and then he had a runoff. And he and his team showed up during the holidays at the end of the year for a district that most people had discounted. And just like every special election in Georgia this year, managed to close the gap between us and Republicans. So just want to give a shout out to candidates like Lamario who have just been showing up for their communities and stepping up when they've been asked to, because running for office ain't easy, y'all. Okay. I think this is going to take forever, so let's just go check out our little beach town situation. Also, I feel like I've given this guy so many CDs that I don't know... Hold on. I'm confused. Okay. God. Somehow I keep running out of space and I don't understand. Anyways, yes, what's up, buddy? Just learn how to high five. This poor Ditto. I keep forgetting that he's like not a human, has no idea what any of this stuff is. Okay. Oh, so what I was saying about workplace speech is that in a state like Georgia, unfortunately, we rank last for worker protections and workers in general. So we have obviously one of the lowest minimum wages in the country. We do not we're a right to work state, which is a really dystopian way of saying that you can be fired for any reason. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't mean to take you now, but all right, let's go, bro. Well, that makes me sad. Okay. Anyways, and so that was like, so all of that to say that there are certain like First Amendment protections that you have that regardless of what state you're in, they exist, right? So, you know, trying to think, like, if you join a protest before or after work, if you know, I don't know, go to a show or something. However, what has happened in our world today is, again, I'm gonna sound like an old lady right now, but truly because of the internet and the way that we have approached information, what you say outside of work could affect the workplace because of the fact that people will like call in to work and disrupt businesses. And so some people have used that as an excuse to fire people for their speech during off work hours. So I'm not an attorney, but I do know that there has been some movement in trying to protect, you know, freedom of speech, freedom to assemble, and people's ability to advocate for themselves and their communities. But yeah. All right, I'm dropping some ash here. How do we do right now? Why did I do that again? Oh, so I can figure out the CD situation. I cannot for the life of me figure out how to give this guy more CDs. He wants 10 of them. And I feel like I've given him so many CDs and it's just not working. Zarhe says, "Hi Rua, disappointed you dropped your governorship run, but look forward to seeing you there again." Okay, now we're being asked about the gubernatorial. I don't know, I'm just kidding, I'm not gonna log off. Okay, so for those who like first found us because of the gubernatorial, here's what I will tell you. The reality about statewide campaigns is they require a lot of resources. And is it done? Bro, I don't. Anyways, so it requires a lot of resources, and to be clear, this is why we were the only campaign gaining in the polls, because we used our resources to build a statewide field operation, and we were able, again, we were like one of the few campaigns gaining in the polls. Now, yes, Gregory Puff, I love your name, I always just mess it up though, I'm sorry, but yes, we're live. The problem, hold on, let me just finish my thought. So the problem was that for us, it was, okay, how do we sort of build infrastructure and do it in such a way that's sustainable and get to the end of the primary, but in the process, build a coalition that includes local organizations, local organizers. And what we came to find out was that even a lot of these orgs that were going to endorse, they lost a lot of funding to North Carolina and Texas and other places. And we're seeing, unfortunately, a lot of organizations go through layoffs right now, even though it's such a big and important year for us here in Georgia. And we needed them. And so there was just no way for us to sustain what we built without them. And so we made the hard decision to drop out. But I think ultimately it would have come down to this consideration, right? Like we could have gone out in glory, hoped for a miracle, hoped that things would change in time, but it's April, right? That funding hasn't come back yet. There hasn't been anything that's changed yet. And for us, it was, do we sort of take this to the end and go out in temporary glory, or do we instead actually try to build something more sustainable? And so because the state Senate seat opened up, it actually sits on top of the two most flippable state house races in the state. And I already represent a third of the district. And for us, it was about how do we keep the momentum going of the work that we've already started long term? Because, and I've said this, I think a lot of people thought it was just, oh, like that's what a politician says when they're running. I meant it at the time, and I mean it now. That campaign was never about me. It was about showing all of you what was possible, and my hope, and it worked, by the way. Like, people literally ran for office because of our campaign. We had people reaching out saying, I'm running for office this year because you ran for office, and we saw what you did, and no matter what happens with it, it made me realize I could do this too. And that's amazing. I think that's so important, that for people to be able to just like see for themselves what they're capable of, and the more they learn about the space, the more powerful they become. And I think that the other piece to this that was really interesting was, again, we had over 5,000 people sign up to volunteer. And the question now is like, how do we keep them mobilized? Which is why we are going to endorse candidates around the state that have asked for our endorsement, that have met sort of the asks that we have put forward about like the policies that people joined our campaign for. That includes protecting their communities from the impacts of data centers. That includes sort of making life more affordable. I mean, there's so much that goes into this, and it's just so, so important. And so for us, again, I meant it. It was never about me. And it's amazing to see so many people step forward and run for office because of what we did. And my hope is to just keep building on that and make it long term. But I think I just saw Dingle sign on. So shout out to him. We definitely need more political creators in Georgia, because I feel like oftentimes a lot of that attention goes to other states. So. And also for all of you who are like bummed, like I still need your help. Please, please, please sign up to Phone Bank. If you're not in the area, sign up to volunteer if you are. We really, really need the help. Our opponent has been able to fundraise the entire time that I was in session and has significantly outraised us. So this is definitely going to be a many versus the money situation. Also, I'm gonna be real with you, I am not talking 2028, I'm trying to get through 2026. I love all of you, but we've got a state to flip. But here's what I will say about 2028, and what I will say about like some national politics. Right now, Trump has been actively posting like genocidal threats on Truth Social, and it's horrible. And we need to be talking about that and not about podcasters, which again, this is like, I think Hassan has built a space for people in a way that like gets them into this and gets them to like at least better understand politics. Because I promise you, those people are not going to just come around because we've, wagged our fingers enough at them. But the fact that like people with such large political platforms are spending like this much time and energy when local journalists can barely keep up with like actual news that's happening is a travesty. So. This is so cool. I also feel like I'm getting later in this game and I'm getting a little sad. Wait, but we're only on the second floor. Why did we make this poor guy show up for no reason? Hold on, how much concrete do I need for the little... Did it break again? No, it didn't. Okay. So I need 14 more pieces of concrete, and I have... Oh yeah, I've got plenty for both. Great. What? I don't have enough? What? This is not good. Wait, which cabinet are we talking about? Somebody said they've been screaming internally about our cabinet for months. Are we talking about Trump's cabinet? Because they really need to invoke the Fifth Amendment. Alright, I'm gonna keep you here for a little while. Thanks, bro. And then... Nice. I get 3 more over here. But yeah, it's not great. Do I have any fire Pokemon here? I can't remember. Oh, I do now. Oh my gosh. The People's Princess, your phone did not glitch. My live, for some reason, broke. But yes, basically, the 40 days actually starts from when session is over. So. And then I don't actually have time to play video games. I barely have time to play this one. I was just, significantly, what's what I'm looking for, influenced to get this. And I'm not even mad about it, because now I get to hang out with you guys and answer questions. Okay. How are we doing on donations so I can get more shout outs, because you guys are so great. And I adore you. Let's see. We are like 100 away from our goal. Hold on. Okay, I don't know how to actually work this thing anymore. Cutie. Aw, Caitlin Smith from Georgia had given 20 a while back. Thank you. Cool. Alright, let's keep going. My poor Pokemon is also working the mines, and I shall work the donation mines? I don't even know. We're $100 away from our... So I set a goal to raise $250 with this stream, and we're about $100 away. So would love for y'all to donate if you can, chip in a little bit. And if you are able... if you can make it like even like a small monthly recurring donation goes such a long way. People's Princess says, is Snellville District 7? Unfortunately, no. It includes parts of Lawrenceville and Swanee, but that's as far as it goes. Okay. Oh, wait, I'm making a furnace. Do I have? Huh? Wait, I thought I could make a furnace. What do I need? Are you for serious? Hold on. What do I need to make a... if you go to roadforgeorgia.com, there is a donate button. That's like what's been scrolling. It should be scrolling on the bottom. Is it not scrolling on the bottom? It's not scrolling on the bottom, then that's not... Yeah. You just go to Road for Georgia, and it's like the button on the website, so... Yeah, Greg Lee Puff, you came down to MOTW Coffee, and it was awesome. Also, feel free to keep the yard sign and put it out. Oh, thanks for the bricks, bud. But I think I'm done with the bricks. Sorry. Okay, I gotta make you a furnace so you can make me... Wait, was it copper? Cameron asks if I'm gonna be helping with Supreme Court races. Absolutely. That will be included in our voter guide that we put out. Hold on. I confused myself again. Let's see. Oh, y'all are annoying. Let's see. Why are people so annoying? Okay, I think we fixed all of our streams. Okay. Aw. Yeah, shout out to Danielle Bell for running out in Cobb as well. We've got some really, really great candidates running all around. Okay, I forgot to check this. Did I check this? Can't remember. Oh. Unfortunately, we've lost a lot of money because I keep, like... Hold on. Microscope. I can't remember how to make the little, like, tinker thingies, and I need a furnace. So I thought I saw a furnace earlier, but now I can't remember where I saw it. Okay, I'm gonna go find a furnace real quick. But yes, for those who don't know, our Supreme Court judges are also elected, but they are nonpartisan, meaning that the elections for those happen in May and not in November. So right now, there has been a concerted effort to get 2 of our candidates elected for Supreme Court. So you don't have to, like if you go into the voting booth and you get confused, it'll just be those who are non-incumbents. One of them who is running is an older state senator, she was a state senator, Jen Jordan, and she did amazing work as a state senator, and I think would be an incredible Supreme Court justice. Like, no joke, I think it would just change so much in our state if she won. And I think there's let me see what I know that the Democratic Party of Georgia has been working on this, but let me just double check. I think, do they both have the same page, or is it individual pages? Let me check. Yeah, they have, okay, it looks like they have their own individual pages, and it's Jen Jordan and Miracle Rankin are the two Supreme Court justices, or 2 candidates running for Supreme Court justice in Georgia. So please go out and vote for them, because the Supreme Court determines things like final decisions on our maps, final decisions on elections. So, and Cameron, I agree 100%. If we were able to flip the PSC, then there should be no reason why we can't flip these seats as well. Maybe I can find a furnace here. What are the chances? Probably not very high. Oh, all bad. I've got to figure out a better way to land. This can't be good for anybody. I'm gonna go back. Okay. Alright, let's see how we look in. Let's go! Aw, Zach and Noonan, thank you for donating $20. That's really sweet of you. I really appreciate it. I just want to say, fundraising sucks, but every time we get a donation like this one, I am just so touched by people, because especially now and in this economy, it feels really shitty asking for money. So it just means a lot to me when people are willing to invest in what we're trying to build here. So, is there really no furnace around here? Also, I haven't actually explored this area. Oh boy. I don't know where I am. Sky, this specific part of Pokopia is huge. Oh, I know where we are. Never mind. I'm not going there. All right. Okay. Why? So, I miss the old internet. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. The old internet was so fun, and it was so cool, and it wasn't full of bots, and it wasn't full of spam, and it wasn't, full of just... And we had, really crappy email forwards. That was our version of mis and disinformation. But, I don't know. It just felt, I don't know, less chaotic. So. Okay, I'm done sounding like an old lady. Okay, what's next? Also, if there is any way that I can make these streams more accessible or exciting, or you have any recommendations on them, please let me know, because I really, really want to demystify this process. And yeah, my TikTok vibe just ended again. I don't know what is happening. I think it's about to die again. So either way, just want to take a moment, because I think this is like our sign that we have to go to sleep. But please, 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 if there's nothing else you take from today, make sure you update your voter registration. Check your voter registration by April 20th, 420. You can go to mvp.sos.ga.gov to check your voter registration. So again, that's mvp.sos.ga.gov. And the deadline is going to be on April 20th, 420. And then make sure that you have a plan to vote. Early voting starts on the 27th. And then last but not least, the last day to vote in the primary is going to be May 19th. And again, we have technically general elections with the Supreme Court races. And that's going to be like the only way to vote for those candidates. They're not going to be on the ballot in May. So I don't know why the stream turned off again, but I will say we did reach our goal of 250. So thank you to all of you that donated, whether it's a little bit or a lot of it. And I'm going to do this again definitely next week. So around the same time, either Wednesday or Thursday. So I'll keep y'all posted. But in the meantime, please sign up, please donate. And we've got, like 5.5 weeks left. So I'm excited. Good night, y'all. Sorry, I don't know why it keeps turning off tonight, but I'll fix it for the next one.